In this video, I'll show you some mic placement, setup, and EQ and compression techniques specific to using condenser mics. So there's two main types of condenser mics that you'll typically use for vocals. Solid-state condensers like this AKG C414, and tube condensers like this Flea 47. Tube condensers use tube amplification, which tends to add warmth and saturates the tone, and solid-state condensers use transistor-based amplification, which tend to be brighter, and they're very clean and detailed. Tube condensers do not require phantom power like solid-state mics do because they have their own power supply to power the tube. However, it's important to turn the power supply on and wait 10 minutes or so before recording. This allows the tube in the mic to warm up fully. If you start recording on a cold tube, the tone will be thin at first and then change and warm up over the duration of the recording. The heat caused by the tube results in a specific placement for tube mics when recording vocals. Typically with tube mics, you're going to position them upside down when recording vocals because this keeps the rising heat from the tube away from the capsule. Sometimes people claim that the heat from the tube passing the capsule can actually warp the tone of the recording, but that's not necessarily true. The real reason is that the heat from the tube can turn your breath into condensation. Condensation on the capsule can absolutely warp the tone and can also cause the capsule to accumulate rust over time. With solid-state mics, you can position these upright or upside down. This alone won't affect the tone of the mic. However, miking condensers upside down makes it easy to mic off-axis, as I demonstrated in the previous video. So again, I prefer an off-axis position with the capsule facing the singer's chin. Condenser mics pick up more highs and more lows than most dynamic mics, so you typically don't need as much high-end added when EQing these, but I'll still usually add a high shelf to bring out the presence in the recording, and I'll also usually add a high-pass filter to cut out some of the boomy lows. Tube mics tend to round out the dynamics in the recording, whereas solid-state mics, sometimes certain frequency ranges in the singer's voice will resonate more, so you'll find that certain words might poke out in the mix more on a solid-state mic, whereas a tube condenser would round out those resonances in a really nice way. So I find myself adding a lot less compression with tube mics than I have to with solid-state condensers.